The assassination of Archduke Franz Ferdinand by Gavrilo Princip on June 28, 1914 to end Austro-Hungarian rule in Bosnia and Herzegovina along with the unification of the Yugoslavs led to the diplomatic complications of interlocking alliances among the European nations propelled towards the outbreak of World War I. The British, though, maintained a splendid isolation due to the unstable military and political locus among its peers, but continued a diplomatic relationship. At this point of time, the British are yet to enter World War I. On the 4th of August 1914, Belgium was invaded by Germany to gain more control of its region and to establish a strong foothold in Europe. Under the Treaty of 1839, Belgium requested Britain for a military rescue to retain its position from German invasion. But the Britain was more concerned about the fate of France as it was torn apart by the German states and Prussians in 1870. Germany conquering France, meaning Central Powers having control over the English Channel and the northwest of France, which poses a severe security catastrophe to the Britain. Analyzing the whereabouts of the Germany, the British policymakers agreed on Belgium's request of military rescue and issued ultimatum to the Germany till 11 pm. The Germans failed to respond and the British took steps forward and launched the military action the very night. By this, the Great Britain has officially entered World War I. Being a colony of British, Herbert Kitchener, then Commander-in-Chief of India, formed the Army of India, which included British soldiers. A volunteer expeditionary force contained nearly 1.5 million Indians across various socio-economic backgrounds and different regions of the country represented the Great Britain in World War I, and in turn for their blood and valor showed equal to that of European soldiers on the battlefield. People of India expected a transition of being a British colony to a self-governing nation. On the other side of the world, German Imperial Navy's SMS EMDEN was stationed at Chinese territory of Qingdao. A light cruiser by build and design under the command of Karl von Müller, the ship sailed wild throughout the outbreak of World War I against the Allied forces. The EMDEN dislodged the Allied power by the interception and seizure of Pontopore's vessel, which carried coal back to England when the war was just weeks old. More than 15 British trading ships were plundered, and as well as captured a Russian mail steamer, Ryazan. The cruiser avoided a seizure by a fleet of French warships while escorting Ryazan back to Qingdao. EMDEN, relatively small in size, along with the evident cleverness of Karl Müller, earned the reputation of being notorious and respected for its remarkable accomplishment as a cruiser. Panic gripped the Indian Ocean. Civilian voyages were halted, being feared for capture by EMDEN. Muller used this to EMDEN's advantage and widened his expedition and his targets on shore. On 22nd September 1914, SMS EMDEN silently enters the dark waters of the shore of Madras. The 3600-ton EMDEN was on a mission to strike at the Allied forces' commercial ships and dropped anchor 2.5 km off the harbor on the starboard side of the ship facing the city. Muller asked his men to prepare for attack. The sea was calm and there was no activity observed on the coast. The port wasn't guarded by the British troops as well. The powerful beam from the lighthouse clearly lit the two oil tankers positioned nearby. The paint on them made an easy target for Muller's men. At 20 past 9, EMDEN took a bold chance at the port of Madras. Volley of shots were fired at the Burma Oil Company tankers. Within 2 minutes, a tanker packed with kerosene caught fire. The flames rose higher and higher in the dark sky and alarming the British on the concealed attack on their colony. Muller's men were delighted with the success of their attack, went on a fancy shooting spree around the port. The Germans were clear on creating panic and chaos in the city and refrained themselves from any civilian casualties. The ambush lasted 30 minutes and the port was bombarded with nearly 130 shells. Astonished by the surprise attack, the British retaliated with field guns towards EMDEN, but not a single shell of theirs prevailed to strike the light cruiser. EMDEN, on incognito, disappeared into the dark waters of Bay of Bengal just as the way it appeared. This invasion by the EMDEN brought the World War I to the Indian shore. The British forces were embarrassed as they lost power of the situation to Muller's men. As a result of the ambush, nearly 60% of the voyages on the region were disrupted, fearing intercepted or being captured by EMDEN.